What's going on, everyone? So this NBA Finals, first off, is amazing, right? Like that game one was, Tyrese Halliburton does it again, right? The Indiana Pacers just keep they just keep coming back from the dead every time. The Oklahoma City Thunder had that game in full control, literally start to finish. Every time Indiana got anywhere close to making that a game, OKC just blew it open again until they didn't. And one of the things that we can see from OKC and more than anything, the Indiana Pacers, is Lakers have a lot of work to do. Did a live stream last night about it, but I wanted to make this a video because not everyone sees the live stream, stuff like that, because I do think it's very important, right? One of the things about the Indiana Pacers in particular, they play a full 48 minutes and they are relentless for 48 minutes. It's not just like, hey, we're hustling in spots here and there. 48 minutes. No, they are full court press, crashing, doing the dirty work, making the hustle plays, diving for loose balls, doing everything you need to do. The one commonality from both of these teams is perimeter speed, athleticism, right? And, switchability out on the perimeter. Lakers need that. I don't think Lakers are that far from being in contention. I think they need four guys. I think they need a clear starting center. I think they need a clear backup center. And then I think they need two legit perimeter guys, right? That give you some athleticism, that can be switchable, that can be your point of attack, right? Maybe even Bronny James. A lot of talks about Bronny James potentially being a rotation piece. I wouldn't even hate that if he does take those strides, not as a starter or anything like that, but just another athletic, versatile point of attack guard that can just give you that athleticism and that foot speed, right? You add in two more of those, all of a sudden Lakers have some real athleticism, right? But with the Indiana Pacers in particular, a big problem that the Lakers have had, not just this past year, for multiple years now, and we've talked about it very heavily on this channel, and that is the Lakers' lack of effort, energy, and consistency. How many times have we talked about, Lakers' poor first half, or poor second half, or poor first quarter, or poor third quarter, or whatever? Right? How many times have we talked about the inconsistencies of this Lakers team and the lack of effort and not knowing which Lakers team is going to show up? It's been a problem for years through multiple coaches, not just, JJ Redick and Darvin. This has been a consistent problem that the Lakers have had, right? But you also look at the Lakers team. One of the Lakers' biggest problems has been the lack of athleticism in the last few years, right? D'Angelo Russell, that team that, yes, you had Russell Westbrook, but you also had Carmelo Anthony and, all these old aging guys that just didn't have the athleticism, didn't have the foot speed, didn't have the things you needed as a team. Or you were incredibly small with Patrick Beverley and Kendrick Nunn and Dennis Schroeder, Dennis Schroeder, yes, he's an athletic guy, but Patrick Beverley and Kendrick Nunn aren't these show-stopping athletes, and they're 6 feet tall, right? So again, you look at the common issues that the Lakers have had these last few years, and you look at teams like the Pacers and the Oklahoma City Thunder, and it's there's a clear commonality, but it's just the effort, right? The Indiana Pacers are relentless. Yeah, sometimes the shots aren't falling. Yeah, sometimes they're turning the ball over 24 times, but they keep coming, and they don't quit, and they don't stop, and they give that extra effort, something that the Lakers don't necessarily do at times, right? How many times have we talked about the Lakers? Again, terrible first half, excellent second half, or excellent first half, terrible second half, or, terrible first quarters, or terrible third quarters, right? For years, the third quarter was dread, right? That was the worst, every time, even this year, right? It was here comes the third quarter, right? Man, we have a 10-point lead. Is this going to hold up? Or, we have a 25-point lead. Is this going to hold up? All of those things become an issue, right? And you look at these teams, and they're just athletic. They're relentless. They keep coming, right? And again, obviously every year, a team wins a championship, and everyone goes, "That's how we need to build our team," right? Fans, organizations, media, everything. Right? We're never going to be the Oklahoma City Thunder and the Indiana Pacers, right? Because we have Luka, who is our foundation piece, right? So we're going to be more half court oriented. We're going to be more, kind of breaking down defenses and, offensive engine type thing. We're not going to be this like pace and space, we're not going to be leading the league in transition and all this other stuff, right? But that's fine. You can still win, right? We're not that far removed from the Boston Celtics heavy isolation, taking 53s a game, winning a championship, or the Denver Nuggets winning a championship with, their half-court offense and Jokic just kind of picking teams apart, right? Like, you can still win that way, but you need the right complementary pieces around Luka and LeBron, and if you keep Reeves, Austin Reeves, and whatever, right? Like, they need to go get those pieces to match up, right? Like, again, there's multiple ways to win, but the Lakers also need to be able to be chameleon-like, right? Lakers need to be able to match whatever that team is. What's the thing about the Indiana Pacers that has been so valuable? Their ability to match whatever matchup they have, right? In a game that is so matchup important, particularly come playoff time, having the ability to match whoever you're playing on any given night is so crucial. You look at a team like the Indiana Pacers. Game 1 was an excellent example, right? Oklahoma City, what have they done every team that they played? They've ran both their bigs, Isaiah Hartenstein and Chet Holmgren, right? They've done it time and time again. Sure, they've had spots here and there. Like they did it against the Minnesota Timberwolves where they ran like Jalen Williams and like 4 other guards, and they were like tiny. They just did it against Indiana, right? But they did it in like small spots, small doses. For the most part, they matched and played big. Well, they played Memphis, big team, Zach Edey, Triple J. They played the Nuggets, big team, Aaron Gordon, Nikola Jokic, and then, ended up playing Minnesota, Rudy Gobert, Julius Randle, and now they're playing a team in the Indiana Pacers. Well, they decided to go super small, right? Which they've had success with. Indiana's had success with that too, right? Well, they finally met their match in that small ball. Because Indiana just went small too, took out Miles Turner, but they're also still big. And that's an advantage that the Lakers had, right? It's one of the reasons why I thought the Lakers matched up against OKC very well, because the Lakers, yes, their lack of center. One, OKC doesn't have the interior size to really punish the Lakers in a way that like Minnesota was able to. Two, Lakers are very big, right? Outside of the lack of center. So I thought that they matched up against OKC very well, right? We look at a team like the Indiana Pacers, they have the luxury of like, okay, you want to go small? We'll go small too. And we'll have Pascal Siakam play the center position, Obi Toppin play the 4, where we're still big. And then you got, Nesmith and, 6'7" or whatever, and then Halliburton and Nembhard, right? Boom. You got that. We can match you, but we can still be bigger on the inside. And the Indiana Pacers were able to out-rebound, out-hustle, outwork them. Everyone's crashing. Everyone's doing their dirty work, right? And it's like, okay, well, you want to go big with 2 bigs? Okay, well, we can go with Miles Turner and Pascal Siakam. We can go with Thomas Bryant and Miles Turner. We can go with Thomas Bryant and Pascal Siakam, right? You want us to go big? We can match you and go big. You want to go small? We can match you and go small, right? Like, being that chameleon-like. That's what I want to see the Lakers be able to do, right? I still think LeBron at center or Dorian Finney-Smith at center is a good option at times. Again, at times, against certain matchups, against certain teams. You're playing the Warriors, right? They don't have a center. It's like, hey, man, we could go with LeBron at the 5 or Dorian Finney-Smith at the 5, kind of have like 3, 6, 8 guys, 2, 6'6", 6'7" Luka, and then like a 6'5", 6'6", shooting guard that can defend multiple positions, right? Boom, now we're big, we're switchable, we match up, we're bigger than their small ball, but we still can do the things that they can do small ball wise, right? But it would also be nice to have that. Look at the 2020 Lakers, right? They played a team like Portland. They were able to match up, right? Played a team like Houston. Houston was a great example because everyone was like, oh, Houston's too fast, pace and space, Russell Westbrook, James Harden, drive and kick. They're just going to pick the Lakers apart. Well, Lakers had Rajon Rondo, Avery Bradley, Alex Caruso, right? Kyle Kuzma was great defensively that year. You had LeBron James who could defend 1 through 5 at that point of his career and do it elite, right? Like Anthony Davis. So you could go small with Anthony Davis at the 5, LeBron at the 4, Kyle Kuzma at the 3, Alex Caruso and Rondo or Avery Bradley, right? But you're still big. You can match those teams. Oh, you want to go big? Okay, we go Dwight Howard at the 5. We could go Anthony Davis at the 4, LeBron at the 3, Kyle Kuzma even out there. Have LeBron be the point with Kuz at the 3, and Alex Caruso at the 5, at the 2. Right, smallest guy on the court is a 6'5" Alex Caruso. Right, you can match whatever you need. Lakers need to get back to that. They need to get that. Hey, whatever you throw at us, we can match. But you need the athleticism, you need the defense, you need the switchability. They can really take a page out of Indiana and the Oklahoma City Thunder, but I think more so Indiana. I still think OKC wins this series, but I think Indiana is a really good model. But let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments. That being said, if you haven't liked this video, hit that like button. Helps me a lot. So we enjoy these types of videos, and I truly appreciate it. Not subscribe channel, hit that subscribe button. Turn on the bell notifications. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next one. Thank you.